Have you ever failed at something so badly that you felt like giving up completely? Maybe it was an exam you studied hard for but still didn't pass. Maybe it was a business you poured your heart into but it collapsed. Maybe it was a relationship you thought would last forever but it ended in heartbreak. In those moments, failure feels like the enemy. It feels like proof that you're not good enough. But here's the truth most people never realize: failure is not your enemy. Failure is your teacher. Every loss brings with it a hidden lesson. The problem is, most people are so busy avoiding failure that they never stop to learn from it. Let me share a story. There was a young man named Thomas. He loved creating things, experimenting, and building. He had an idea for a new kind of light bulb. But the first time he tried, it didn't work. Neither did the second time. Or the 10th. Or the 100th. In fact, Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Reporters asked him, "How did you keep going after failing so many times?" Edison replied, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's the mindset shift. Each failure wasn't an ending. It was feedback. It was a lesson. And each lesson brought him closer to success. Now think about that. What if Edison had seen failure the way most people do? What if he had stopped after the 10th try, saying, "This is embarrassing, I'm not good enough"? We might still be living in darkness. The truth is, every success story you admire is built on failure. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots in his career and said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers before it became a global phenomenon. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because they said he lacked imagination. These people didn't succeed because they avoided failure. They succeeded because they embraced it, learned from it, and used it as fuel. Here's the problem with how most people see failure. From a young age, we're taught to fear it. In school, mistakes are punished. Wrong answers mean red marks, bad grades, embarrassment. You grow up believing failure equals shame. So you avoid it. You play safe. You only try things you know you'll succeed at. But that mindset keeps you small. Because the only way to grow is to step into things you might fail at. Failure is not a signal that you should stop. Failure is a signal that you're trying. That you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. Think of failure like a teacher in school. A teacher doesn't punish you just to hurt you. A teacher gives you feedback so you can improve. When you get an answer wrong, you don't quit math forever, you study the mistake, learn the formula, and try again. Failure in life works the same way. Each failure carries information. Each loss whispers a lesson. But if you run from failure, you never hear it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you start a small business selling clothes online. It flops. No sales, no profit. At first, you feel crushed. But if you look closely, failure is teaching you. Maybe it's telling you your marketing was weak. Maybe your product didn't solve a problem. Maybe your pricing was wrong. If you listen, you learn. And next time, you adjust. That's how entrepreneurs build billion-dollar companies. Not by succeeding instantly, but by failing, learning, and improving. Failure is also your mirror. It shows you where you need to grow. If you fail at a relationship, maybe failure is teaching you about communication. If you fail at a test, maybe it's teaching you how to study differently. If you fail at a goal, maybe it's teaching you about patience, discipline, or strategy. The failure is not there to destroy you. It's there to shape you. But here's the catch: you only learn if you own it. Many people fail and immediately blame someone else. It was the teacher's fault, the economy's fault, my boss's fault, bad luck. And maybe sometimes circumstances play a role. But the moment you shift blame, you lose the lesson. Failure teaches best when you ask, what can I learn from this? What is this showing me about myself? What can I do differently next time? That's when failure becomes fuel instead of a wall. Now here's the task I want you to take. For the next 30 days. Every time something doesn't go your way, instead of asking, why me, ask, what's the lesson here? Write it down. Build a failure journal. Every loss, every mistake, every setback, write the lesson. You'll start to see patterns. Maybe you notice you procrastinate too much. Maybe you see you need to work on focus. Maybe you see resilience growing. Over time, that journal will show you that failure was never wasted. It was always teaching you. Here's another story. Sarah wanted to become a professional speaker. She dreamed of inspiring crowds. Changing lives. Her first speech. A disaster. She froze on stage, forgot her words, stumbled off embarrassed. 4 weeks. She considered quitting. But then she asked, what can I learn? She realized she hadn't practiced enough, hadn't prepared. Hadn't managed her nerves. She worked on those things. The next speech was better. The one after that, better still. Years later, Sarah was speaking on stages around the world. What built her career wasn't just talent, it was the lessons hidden inside her failures. That's the key. Every failure contains 2 paths. One leads to shame, quitting, regret. The other leads to wisdom, resilience, growth. Which path you take depends on your perspective. If you see failure as the end, it breaks you. If you see failure as a teacher, it builds you. Here's something else to remember. The people who never fail are usually the ones who never try. If you're not failing at all, it's probably because you're staying safe, doing the same things, never risking. But comfort doesn't create growth. Every failure is proof you're in the arena, taking risks, learning, stretching. And the more you fail, the faster you grow. So let me ask you. What's one failure in your past that you're still holding onto with shame? What if you reframed it? What if you looked at it as a teacher, not an enemy? What did it teach you? How did it shape you? You'll realize failure didn't stop you, it strengthened you. Tomorrow. When you face something new and you're scared of failing, remember this, failure is not final. It's feedback. Each loss is a lesson. Each mistake is data. Each stumble is training. And the only real failure is refusing to learn. If this resonates with you, I want you to take the 30-day Failure as a Teacher challenge. Every day, write down one lesson from a mistake or setback. By the end, you'll see that your failures weren't wasted, they were building you. And if you want more content like this, raw truth, real tools, and encouragement to help you grow, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because this channel is about more than just avoiding failure. It's about learning from it, using it, and turning it into your strength. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's the foundation of it. Failure is not here to punish you. It's here to teach you. And if you listen, if you learn, each loss will guide you closer to the life you want. Failure equals your teacher. Each loss brings a hidden lesson. And the sooner you embrace that, the sooner your failures will become your greatest strength.